call it a driver's track. A mile and 3/8 of slick asphalt that separates the good drivers from the great ones. The name of this race is the Southern 500. The track is Darlington. Every driver on the NASCAR circuit is a little afraid of running here. At Darlington, they claim there are 43 other cars to beat and the racetrack. Every driver and every mechanic has a story to tell of lost victories and battered hopes and how the track has beaten them. But year after year, they challenge it again, refusing to accept the defeats and the heartbreak. Early in the race, Tiny Lund blows an engine. A few seconds later, his car is wrecked. But Tiny won't quit. Soon, he's back at the pit wall, looking for a relief ride. Another chance at Darlington. Mechanic Ray Fox has won at every big stock car track except Darlington. Only this track has beaten him. Richard Petty is NASCAR's national champion, as his father was before him. But neither has ever beaten the track at Darlington. The track seems almost alive as it outguesses the men who challenge it. It's tougher for driver or mechanic than any other track in the country. There's only one thing tougher than racing at Darlington. That's walking when your car has gone out. This race is called the Southern 500. The track is Darlington. It's a driver's track, but you've got to have a car that will run. If you can't go 134 miles an hour, you're just here for the ride. The top mechanics know this. They've already spent weeks, maybe months, preparing the car. Now, with the race less than a week away, it's a matter of adjustment. 10,000 adjustments. Racing used to be a simple thing. Take off the hubcaps, paint a number on the door, let's go. Now it takes a crew, equipment, an experienced mechanic, and months of work to build the most powerful racing cars in the world. When the mechanics are done, 44 comfortable production cars are leaned and toughened for battle. Along with speed, they must also build in durability and safety for the driver. Special equipment in every car is designed for this. Steering wheels are padded for safety and a better grip. The roll bar near the driver's head is padded too. The roll bar does more than keep the roof off the driver if he flips. It's become a cage inside the body shell that keeps the car rigid at high speed and provides protection from any angle if the car is rammed. There's only one seat, contour fitted to each driver and equipped with a heavy-duty seat belt. Airplane-type shoulder harnesses are used by most drivers. Everything else that might burn has been ripped out, and there's a portable fire extinguisher in every car. The only upholstery is an asbestos floor mat. In the right front corner of the floorboard, there's a small trap door. At high speeds, the driver opens it to check tire wear. Headlights are removed, and so are side windows. Even the chrome strips are replaced by metallic tapes. They use oversized tires on reinforced rims. The rubber compound and tread are specially designed to withstand racing stress and provide safety. Exhausts, straight out the side, have no mufflers. There's a 4-speed transmission. The only thing the mechanics haven't improved is the key, and they're working on that. When the adjustments are done, it's time to qualify. The fans have come to see 4-lap official runs, a battle against the clock for best starting positions. Richard Petty in a Plymouth waits for his chance against the track record of 133.8 miles an hour. A warm-up lap, and Petty is on his run. As Petty battles the electric timers, Dave Pearson settles himself in his Dodge. The doors are welded shut, another safety feature. Here comes Petty. And there he goes with a new one-lap record, 137.2 miles an hour. Petty's four-lap average is 136.8 miles an hour, almost 60 miles an hour faster than the first qualification record set here in 1950. Pearson's qualifying. His speed, 135.9, is only a fraction of a second under Petty. Pearson's Dodge also smashes last year's record. Fred Lorenzen wheels his Ford to the line. Until Petty's run, he owned the track record. Lorenzen's a money driver who wants to start the race near the front. He's on his run as his mechanic, Herb Nabb, watches. One look at Herb's face tells everything. Lorenzen's 1 mile an hour too slow. One driver after another sets out on a lonely run against the track. One driver after another flashes past the electric eye at speeds that make this the fastest field ever to compete at the Darlington Speedway. When a car is qualified, the engine is pulled, a fresh one installed. These engines have nothing to drive but the wheels. No radio, no air conditioner, no accessories. All the horsepower goes into the battle against the track. Even Richard Petty's record-breaking car gets a new engine. Richard's father, Lee Petty, three-time national champion in his driver days, heads his son's crew. Meanwhile, the last few cars take the checkered flag. Then the track is closed until the race. This is another part of the Darlington magic, the giant crowd that turns a sports event into a spectacle. 65,000 people have gathered from 50 states to cheer these words. Gentlemen, start your engines. "44 cars, the fastest stock cars in the world, ease away from the starting line on the main straightaway to begin a slow parade lap around this 1 3/8 track. Then the green flag will send them off to a flying start. 19 Ford, 6 Dodge, 5 Plymouth, 5 Chevrolet, 4 Mercury, 3 Pontiac, 2 Chrysler. In all, 7 makes of cars are running here. The Darlington track is high banked through turns 1 and 2, flat on turns 3 and 4. No matter how it's adjusted, a car will have trouble one place or the other. That's why Darlington is called a driver's track. Leading the pack, first row outside, a position earned with highest qualification speed, Richard Petty in Plymouth 43. Next to him, David Pearson, Dodge number 6, second fastest. In the second row, Jim Paschal, Plymouth number 41. Fred Lorenzen, Ford 28. In the third row, Jimmy Pardue, Plymouth 54. And Buck Baker, Dodge number 3. There are 3 former winners in the starting field. Nelson Stacy, Larry Frank, Buck Baker. Baker, driving Dodge number 3, won in 1953 and 1960. They're coming to the starting line in perfect formation. The race is on. Richard Petty takes the lead. Accident in the first turn. Darrell Derringer's Mercury loops into the infield and recovers. Ned Jarrett's Ford also spins on the infield apron. The track is clear, no damage, and the race goes on. Richard Petty holds first place. Jim Paschal, his teammate, is second. David Pearson third. Buck Baker fourth. Darrell Derringer spins again. Hurrying to make up lost time, he slides through the third turn. There goes Pearson, moving his number 6 Dodge from third to second place. The leaders are sweeping past the slowest cars in the field. Pearson is charging. He's closing in on Richard Petty. There's Buck Baker, Dodge number 3, trying for third position. He's passing Jim Paschal. Don Hume's Ford slams the wall on the backstretch. The yellow flag warns all drivers to slow down, remain in position until the track is cleared. They're racing again with Richard Petty still leading David Pearson. More trouble. Tiny Lund's Ford skates down the main straightaway as Lund fights the wheel, trying to keep that 4,000-pound automobile between the walls. He's under control now, slowly moving toward his pit, located on the backstretch. Right behind him, Bobby John's Ford is moving fast. They've hooked bumpers. Both cars are straddling the fast groove. The yellow flag warns drivers of trouble on the backstretch, but even under caution rules, these cars are traveling more than 100 miles an hour. An emergency truck pries the cars apart. Both Fords are still able to run. The green flag signals high speed as Bobby Johns limps into his pit for some fast body work. One minute later, Johns is ready to go, but he's just along for the ride now. There's no chance of winning, not as long as Petty and Dave Pearson are running 135 miles per hour. David Pearson, after riding Petty's bumper for 50 miles, stands on the throttle. Pearson's Dodge leads the race. Petty waits his chance, studying Pearson's driving style. Then, as they hit the main straightaway, catches Pearson. Richard Petty's Plymouth leads again. Pearson is second. Jimmy Pardue, Plymouth 54, is third. Buck Baker, Dodge number 3, is fourth. Darrell Derringer's Mercury tangles with Cale Yarborough's Ford. This is the third ride on the merry-go-round for Derringer this afternoon. At the 100-mile mark, Dave Pearson eases into his pit for fuel and fresh tires. His crew discover broken wheel lugs, and Pearson sits helplessly as Richard Petty and Jimmy Pardue square off for one of the greatest speed battles ever seen on this or any racetrack. Right behind the leaders, Buck Baker, the old pro, driving Dodge number 3, matches their pace but stays out of trouble. Baker, a two-time winner, has more than 6,000 miles of racing experience on this track. There's a wild mix-up involving 5 cars on the second turn. Junior Johnson's Ford is rammed from behind by number 45, driven by rookie Bud Moore. There's Darrell Derringer, one of the first cars to spin, limping around the track and out of the race. Johnson's out of his car. He seems all right. So is Bud Moore. He's shaken up but not injured. Johnson's safe and disgusted. His Ford is a total washout. Fred Lorenzen, also caught in the 5-car pileup, makes it to the pits with an overheated engine. His radiator was damaged when he ran into Bobby Isaacs, and it looks like he's out of the race. Lorenzen's a front runner and hates to lose more than any other driver on the stock car circuit. At the halfway point, the track has taken its toll. 20 cars have gone out, almost half the starting field of 44. The track is like some giant grindstone, wearing away men and metal with equal unconcern. In past races at Darlington, more cars have failed than finished. Some of the best drivers in the world have watched this race from the pit wall. Those that are still running, like Jimmy Pardue, are tearing up the racetrack, forcing their cars to higher and higher lap speeds. The pressure from the front runners makes the second 250 miles no easier than the first. If anything snaps, bends, breaks, overheats, shakes loose, or wears out, it's all over. Leroy Yarbrough, running sixth, learns this the hard way. After 400 miles of racing, Jimmy Pardue has the lead with Richard Petty challenging on every straightaway. Both drivers punishing their cars in the bid for first place. In third position, half a lap behind the front runners, Buck Baker moves his Dodge smoothly and relentlessly. Baker's pre-race strategy called for a steady 135 miles an hour. Pardue takes the lead coming off the backstretch. There's no room to pass on turns 3 and 4. Petty waits for the straightaway. Richard Petty takes first place. Pardue holds second. Buck Baker is smooth and steady in third place. With less than 100 miles to go, Pardue dives into the pits to refuel for the last time. All the leaders will have to stop once more before the checkered flag. The hood is up as the mechanics check the engine. Pardue wants to race. It takes 100 miles of hard driving to pick up 10 seconds lost in the pits. At last, Pardue is on his way. Wait a minute. A NASCAR pit inspector is holding him back. The right front wheel is held by only 2 lug bolts. The others were sheared off when Pardue brushed the wall. The entire wheel hub must be replaced before Pardue will be allowed to race again. Richard Petty keeps his foot down, turning laps at record speed. Lee Petty signals that the pressure is off. Buck Baker, now in second position, closes in behind fourth place Jim Paschal, driving Plymouth 41. Both Baker and Paschal are veterans of all 15 Southern 500s. There goes Baker, now a full lap ahead of Paschal. Jimmy Pardue also passes, but after losing 6 laps in the pits, Pardue is no longer a threat. Roy Tyner's Chevy loses its transmission in the third turn, and without power, Tyner can't control the car. Right behind him, David Pearson and Major Melton slam into each other as they slow down, trying to avoid Tyner. Tyner makes it to the pits and out of the race. It's a tough break for Dave Pearson. He's charged back to 6th position after a long pit stop early in the race. Pearson and Melton, a rookie, are out of their cars. Nobody hurt. When the track is cleared, Petty is still the leader, a lap ahead of Buck Baker. But there's something wrong with Petty's car. Baker is flying. Petty's in the pits. A hand signal shows something is wrong. As Petty stops, the mechanic dives into the car. There goes Baker, 1 lap, 35 seconds away from first place. Petty is calling for ignition wire. Petty has 20 seconds to get out of the pits. There's nothing he can do but wait while the mechanic works under the dash. Petty's mechanic goes out the window head first as Baker comes onto the main straightaway. Buck Baker, Dodge number 3, takes the lead. The man responsible for the engines on all Petty cars is Morris, Richard's brother. We burned an ignition wire, he said. A little old $20,000 wire. Ray Fox, Baker's mechanic, doesn't quite dare smile. Leroy Yarbrough, Baker's teammate, stands by as relief driver, just in case. Baker is told to slow down and take it easy. Using his 20 years' experience behind the wheel, Baker moves out of the way as Richard Petty, now running third, storms back from his long pit stop. Jim Paschal, Petty's teammate, is in second place. Ray Fox doesn't dare breathe as Baker, running smooth as ever, moves up to take the white flag, signaling 1 lap to go. Ray Fox cars have won on every big track on the NASCAR circuit, except Darlington. This must be the longest 35 seconds in his life. There's the checkered flag. Buck Baker wins the Southern 500 for the third time. Buck Baker wheels his Dodge number 3 to the winner's circle where he's been twice before. Baker has completed 6,599 miles in competition, more than any other driver in Darlington history. Only Baker and Jim Paschal, who finished second, have raced in all 15 Southern 500s. Baker, a 45-year-old grandfather, has been racing almost 20 years and has earned a nickname worthy of his skill, the Old Pro. As Baker's congratulated by Bob Colvin, president of the Darlington Raceway, Richard Petty rolls into the pits. Petty finished third behind his teammate Jim Paschal. The winner's share of the $100,000 purse is almost $25,000, making this the richest of all Southern 500s. This is a very special victory for Ray Fox, mastermind of his Dodge team. Fox is the first mechanic to have won a big race on each of the 4 NASCAR superspeedways. Buck Baker's wife, Betty, a girl he met while she was a contestant and he a judge in the Miss Southern 500 Beauty Contest, joins the celebration. By an earlier marriage, Buck has a grown son, Buddy, also a race driver. Well, for a tired old grandpa, Buck takes more than usual interest in Miss Southern 500. Baker accepts the congratulations of Tony Webner, manager of racing for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Baker's average speed, held down by slow running under the caution signal, is 117.7 miles an hour, although he turned some laps at better than 135. Buck Baker, the flying granddaddy of stock car racing, has taken the big prize at the granddaddy of all stock car racing tracks, Darlington.